3:08 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. 03:08 What we know so far: Claire Phipps. 8 people were killed and 11, including 2 children, were injured after a truck was driven into a cycleway in Lower Manhattan, close to the site of the 911 memorial, on Tuesday afternoon. The suspect was shot in the abdomen by police after he exited the truck. Officials later said a pellet gun and paintball gun had been found. Unconfirmed reports suggested a note or notes had also been found in or near the truck, but these could not be verified. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio said the incident was being treated as a particularly cowardly act of terror. Read more. 5 of those killed have been named as friends from Argentina who had traveled to New York as part of a larger group celebrating the 30th anniversary of their graduation from high school. The Argentinian Foreign Ministry named them as Hernan Diego Mendoza, Diego Enrique Angelini, Alejandro Damian Panuco, Ariel Erlich and Hernan Ferrucci, all in their late 40s. A 6th friend, Martin Ludovico Maro, was injured. A Belgian woman was also among the dead. Belgium's Foreign Minister, Didier Reynders, said she was a woman from Roulers in Western Flanders who was on a city trip with her sister and her mother, but she has not yet been named. The 2 other people who died have not yet been identified. 2 children injured when the truck hit their school bus were not seriously hurt, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said. Read more. Suspect in New York terror attack runs through streets before being shot. Video. The suspect has been named as Saifullo Saipov, a 29-year-old Uzbek national who entered the U.S. in 2010. Saipov worked as an Uber driver, the company confirmed, adding that he had passed a background check. He is reported to have lived in Ohio, Florida and latterly in Paterson, New Jersey. Reuters reported he has a history of traffic violations. Dilfuza Iskakova, who lived in Cincinnati, Ohio, told The Guardian that Saipov had stayed with her for several months about 6 years ago after arriving from Uzbekistan. He seemed like a nice guy, but he didn't talk much. After being shot in the abdomen by a police officer, he has undergone surgery and remains in critical condition in hospital. He is expected to survive. Read more. Overnight, police officers cordoned off a Home Depot rental lot in New Jersey where the suspect is believed to have hired the truck used in the attack. U.S. President Donald Trump reacted via Twitter, first calling it another attack by a very sick and deranged person and later adding, "We must not allow ISIS to return, or enter, our country after defeating them in the Middle East and elsewhere." Enough. Later on Tuesday night, Trump said new measures were being taken in the aftermath of the attack. He tweeted, "I have just ordered Homeland Security to step up our already extreme vetting program. Being politically correct is fine, but not for this." Neither the Department of Homeland Security nor the White House offered further elaboration on what that order might be. Read more. Updated at 3:09 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. 2:46 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. 02:46 2:29 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. 02:29 Reuters reports that the suspect, named as Saifullo Saipov, has a history of traffic violations, citing media reports and court records. In one incident, state judicial records show, Saipov was stopped in central Pennsylvania for pulling a truck trailer that was longer than permitted by law, operating unsafe equipment and driving with the wrong operator's license. Saipov listed both Paterson and Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, as his addresses. He paid his fine by mail and did not have to appear in court, Reuters reports. 2:12 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. 01:55 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. 01:55 Lowest Beckett. Hours after the terror attack, tens of thousands of New Yorkers gathered in Manhattan for a Halloween parade, and even those dressed as chickens said they were not afraid. Police guard as revelers marched during the Greenwich Village Halloween parade. Photograph. Andres Kudakyp. The police took care of the attack, said Mark Cruz, a 28-year-old in a chicken costume. He said he felt pretty safe. Brandon McCall, 29, was wearing a luxuriant feather jacket paired with a handmade chicken mask and bright yellow tights. Asked if he had considered not coming to the parade because of the attack that afternoon, he said, "Oh no, not at all. So many people were telling me not to come. I said you have to live your life," said Alexandra Colon, 37, who came to the parade as Kate Winslet in Titanic, with a cardboard Leonardo DiCaprio hovering over her shoulder. 16 years ago, Colon had watched the World Trade Center fall from her home across the river in Jersey City. She had not even considered skipping this year's village Halloween parade, which she has been attending since she was 17. "I'm not going to let terrorists stop my life. They're not going to win," said Alex Tutino, 20, who was wearing a tangle of neon balloons with paper fish taped to them. He was dressed, he said, as Finding Nemo. Updated at 1:57 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, 1:12 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, 0112. What we know so far, 1:03 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, 01:03. 12:22 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, 0022. Michael McGowan, the man accused of driving a Home Depot rental truck into a group of pedestrians and cyclists in New York, is an Uzbekistan national who lived in New Jersey and drove for Uber. As authorities work to piece together the events that led to the deadly attack, some details about Saifullah Saipov's life are beginning to surface. Saipov is reported to have entered the U.S. in 2010 and lived in Ohio, Florida and latterly in Paterson, New Jersey. Dilfuza Iskakova, who lived in Cincinnati, Ohio, told The Guardian that Saipov had stayed with her for several months about 6 years ago after arriving from Uzbekistan. "He seemed like a nice guy, but he didn't talk much," Iskakova told The Guardian. "He only went to work and came back. He used to work at a warehouse." Iskakova said Saipov had been applying for a green card when she knew him. Ohio state records show he registered a business involving vehicles to her home in May 2011. Iskakova said her family had lost contact with Saipov in recent years and she thought he had moved from Ohio to Florida, then to the New York region, and that he now had a wife and 2 young children. 12:12 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, 0012. 11:42 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, 2342. Amateur footage appears to show the suspect running through the streets of Manhattan brandishing what looks like a firearm as gunshots ring out. He was later found to be carrying a pellet gun and paintball gun, officials said. Suspect in New York terror attack runs through streets before being shot. Video 11:23 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, 2323. 11:14 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, 2314. 10:48 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, 2248. 10:41 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, 2241. Belgian woman confirmed killed. 10:34 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, 2234.